Hi guys, we are going to start by the fundamental counting principle here. And the fundamental counting principle just means if you multiply different events together, that will tell you your total number of ways that something can occur. All right, so you need to multiply the events to find the total number of ways something can happen. All right, so another way that you could look at this would be figure out how many things happen in event number 1 and multiply that by however many things happen in event number 2 times event number 3 and so on and so on. So you multiply them together. Independent events. This just means that whatever happens first is not going to change what happens second. So the first event does not change the second event. Let's look at some examples here. So the first one has a sandwich cart, has hamburger, chicken, or fish, so there's 3 different types of meat, and then you could either pick a plain or a sesame bun. Now I'm going to write all these out so you can see what this looks like. You could have a hamburger on a plain bun, you could have a hamburger on a sesame bun, or chicken on plain, chicken on sesame, or fish on a plain, or fish on sesame. So you see that we have 6 options. The fundamental counting principle says you could just take the types of meat, so we have 3 types of meat, and multiply that by however many buns we have to pick from, which is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 6 possible sandwiches. You don't have to label this, but all right, let's try another one. You want to make a yogurt parfait, and you want to pick one of each of these. So one type of flavor of yogurt, one type of fruit, and then you want to put one type of nuts on top. So I'm not going to list all those out. So how many types of yogurt we have is 2, plain or vanilla, times the fruit, and we have peaches, strawberries, bananas, raspberries, blueberries, that's 5, times the different, we've got almonds, peanuts, and walnuts. So there's 3 types of nuts there. If you multiply those together, you get 30 different yogurt parfaits. All right, let's take a look at some more here. So we've got answering machines. We need a 3-digit code for this machine. So 3 digits, I'm just going to make 3 spaces here because that would be my first events. These are all digits. So this is the first digit. And keep in mind there's 10 total digits. So we've got 1 through 9 and then also 0. So there's 10 possible digits for the first one. And it's okay if we repeat them. It didn't say we can't repeat, so if I want my password to be 222, I can. So there's 10 possible for the second digit, and then there's 10 possible for the third. If you multiply those together, it's possible to get 1,000 different codes. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one's a password. This time I want 4 digits followed by 2 letters. So I'm going to make 4 spaces for the digits. So these are the digits here. And then I'm going to have 2 letters here. And I'm going to multiply all of these events together, all these possibilities. So let's read here. Does it say anything specific about the digits? Each digit or letter can be used more than once. We're just saying we can't use A or Z. So for the letters, I'm going to say that I can't have an A. So no A, no Z. So let me go back to the digits here. There is nothing specific. I could have 10, 10, 10, 10. For the letters, keep in mind there's 26 letters in the alphabet, but I'm only going to use 24 of those. All right, so then if I multiply this together, I'm going to get my calculator. These numbers are getting kind of big. I could type 10, 10, 10 4 times. A quicker way would be to type 10 raised to the 4th power and then do times 24 times 24, and I get a pretty big number right there. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 5,760,000 different passwords. It's a lot. All right, moving on, dependent events. A dependent event just means that whatever happens first is going to change what happens next. So the first event changes the second event. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Sarah's going to take 6 different classes next school year. Each class is offered each period. How many schedules could she have? So I'm going to make 6 spaces here, 5, 6, and I'm going to multiply these events together. So there's 6 different classes. Once she's taken the class, she doesn't want to take the same class again. So now there's only 5. So do you see how this number changed? So we didn't. Now she's already taken 2 classes, so there's only 4 to pick from, and then there's only 3, and then only 2, and then only 1. If you type this in the calculator, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I get 720. 720 different schedules. All right, the next one, a password is 4 letters followed by 1 digit. So I've got 4 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are letters. Followed by 1 digit. How many passcodes are possible? Passwords are possible if no repetition. So that means once I use a letter, I can't use it again. So there's 26 letters to pick from. I've already used a letter, so now there's only 25, and then 24, and then 23, and then I've got 10 digits that I could pick from. Type this in the calculator. Times 23 times 10. And I get a pretty big number there again. 3, 5, 8, 8. So 3,588,000. All right, so factorial here. And maybe you already see where this is going, you remember this, but factorial just means if I have a number, and you're probably not going to like this explanation of it, but you could take that number and multiply it by 1 number smaller times 2 numbers smaller times 3 numbers smaller times you keep going till you get down to just a 1. All right, let's look at that with a number. So 6 factorial. Factorial looks like an exclamation point. This would be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Actually, same thing we did up here. But there is a factorial button on. If you have this calculator, it's going to be right here under this PRB button. So you type a 6. If you hit the PRB, it's your 3rd option. And it gives you that same answer we got up there, 720. Now, if you don't have a calculator at home, at the bottom of these notes here, I do have a website that you could go to. It's not bad. It's not as good as these calculators, but it works. I'll make a separate video on how to use that calculator online. For now, I'm just going to keep using my handheld calculator. So this, we're just going to practice some of these, and this is more so just for you to practice. So again, I'll show how to do this. You type 10 PRB, and then it's the 3rd option. So you can either go down and highlight it, or you can just hit the number 3 and then have to hit enter. So 3, 6, 2, 8, 8, 4. If you want to type 3 factorial, and you don't even have to hit the times, you can type it exactly the way you see it. And that one gives you 720. If you don't have a calculator and you don't want to use one online, you could just do 3 times 2 times 1, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And so that's another possibility. It's just nice if you have the shortcut. So you could do that also. Same thing with the fraction. If you have these calculators with the fraction button, you would just type 6 factorial, and then at the bottom, 2 factorial, 4 factorial, and you get 15. Just try one more here. We've got 8 factorial, 8 factorial at the top, 3 and 5 factorial, and that one gives us 56. So make sure that you know how to type these in. If you're having troubles, let me know. All right, one more type of problem here, rearranging letters in a word. So I don't know if you guys have played those games, like if you could rearrange letters. So if I flip-flop the A and the B, it's not going to be banana anymore. It would be a different word. So I just want to know how many different ways could I arrange these letters. So here's what we're going to do. To rearrange letters in a word, you need to know the total number of letters, and then you're going to do factorial, divided by any repeats, factorial. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total letters. So I've got 6 total letters in the word banana. I have 1, 2, 3 A's. So I've got 3 A's, and I have 2 N's. 1, 2 N's. So the way that I would do this problem is I would do 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial, 2 factorial. And then you just type that in your calculator. I'm not going to show you how to type that again. I think you guys should have that. And that gives you 60. Make sure you know how to type that. Okay, one more here. Mississippi. It's got a lot of letters in this word. So if I count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total letters. If I look, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 I's. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 S's and 2 P's. So I would do 11 factorial divided by 4 factorial, 4 factorial, 2 factorial, and it really doesn't matter what order you put those in. You type that in and you get a pretty big answer. It's 34,650. All right, so what I want you guys to do now, I want you to go to Buzz and I want you to do the assignment that's like this. If you need any help or you have any questions, please make sure you let me know.